I don't believe marriage should be about money, but there are some people who have a strong inclination towards it. My sister-in-law, Selena, was one of those people. I never imagined that issues would arise over an inheritance when my brother, a surgeon, passed away. My name is Mary Smith. I manage a jewelry store and am 31 years old. Although I'm single, I find great fulfillment in my work. Recently, my boyfriend officially proposed to me, and I'm thinking it's time to get married. Since our engagement, we've met each other's parents, and tomorrow is the big family meeting. Our parents, as well as our siblings, are expected to attend this meeting. I have an older brother who is 8 years my senior. Tyler is a surgeon at a general hospital in Tokyo and is highly regarded in his profession. Additionally, my brother is, in my eyes, quite handsome and charismatic. Given our age difference, Tyler has always spoiled and been kind to me since I was young. You were finally getting married. I'm sure you'll be happy, but I won't accept it if some strange guy shows up as your potential husband at the family meeting. When I told my brother about my upcoming marriage, he spoke as if he were my father, which made me laugh. Don't worry, he's nicer than you, I replied confidently, though my brother still looked a bit concerned. More than me? He asked. Tyler has been married for 4 years to Selena, who is a high society beauty. She has the striking features of a model with a clear nose and captivating eyes. When they walk together, it looks like a scene from a drama, and they often get approached on the street. Tyler, deeply in love with his wife, never complains about her quitting her job or her penchant for buying brand-name bags. He allows her to spend his money freely. Selena often says, I can't make it. I have to attend Show's new release event today. It was common for Selena to miss family gatherings she had promised to attend because of these brand-name events. Initially, my parents and I tried to be understanding, thinking she might have her own struggles. However, her behavior gradually became more and more unacceptable, especially since she canceled tomorrow's meeting as well. Of course, she hadn't planned to attend the meeting initially since it was just for close family. But as soon as she learned that the venue was the lounge of a famous hotel, she changed her tune. I love afternoon tea at that hotel, so I will go to the meeting, she declared. She wanted to go for the afternoon tea. She could have gone on another day, but she decided to attend and then canceled the day before the meeting despite us having booked for everyone. It was so rude. I didn't mind if she didn't attend, but I hated always being at her beck and call. I tried to talk to my brother about it, but he was too soft on Selena. I'm really sorry for bothering you every time, he said. I'll make her listen to me. Besides, I'll be there tomorrow. He persuaded me. What I couldn't stand was not just her selfishness, but the way she made my brother, a busy surgeon, apologize, take messages, and run errands for her. Selena became a full-time housewife after their marriage, but she doesn't do any housework because she hires cleaners, and they mostly eat out. She's not busy, her schedule is always filled with shopping for branded bags and clothes. The next day, the meeting went well. My boyfriend got his endorsement, and the gathering ended peacefully. It was a really nice meeting, or so I thought. That evening, I got a call from Selena. As I was telling her that the dinner party had ended without incident, she suddenly started yelling at me. It doesn't matter, you don't have to answer anything I didn't ask you. Besides, where are my scones and macarons? I was taken aback, silently thinking, what in the world is she talking about? I did remember her asking me to buy sweets. I was about to ask her what she meant, but she cut me off. Are you listening to me? Don't tell me you didn't buy them. You really are not attentive. Tyler, you and your sister are all annoying. I tried to recall if she had asked for any snacks, but nothing came to mind. I attempted to respond, but she continued screeching over the phone. I told you that I love afternoon tea at that hotel, didn't I? Since I couldn't make it there, it's only right for you to bring me a souvenir, right? I started to understand her twisted logic. As I tried to process it, her voice grew even louder. Hey, if you haven't bought it, go buy it. I was looking forward to it. But the main reason we went to that hotel today was for a family meeting, right? If you wanted those treats so badly, you should have come since you had the whole day free, I retorted. I tried to respond, but she just said, never mind, and abruptly hung up the phone. I was left wondering what that was all about. I had been in a good mood after the dinner party went well, but now I felt exhausted. I couldn't help but wonder how Tyler managed to get any rest with Selena's extreme emotional swings. Why did he marry her in the first place? Sure, she's impressive on the outside, but she's so self-centered on the inside. I wondered if her appearance had led to her being spoiled growing up. While I was concerned for Tyler, I knew it was his decision, and I couldn't interfere in his marriage. My brother also supports my own upcoming marriage. The next day, while serving customers at the jewelry store as usual, I noticed a familiar face outside the glass door. It was Selena, and she was arm in arm with a man who looked to be in his late 20s, which meant he was about 10 years younger than my brother. They entered the store, chatting intimately. I decided to serve them and called out. Selena spotted me and said, "Oh my God, you're working here. That's so funny," laughing without a trace of apology. "Who's the man with you?" I asked, trying to keep my tone neutral, but she simply replied, "He's from my old modeling days." Even if they were old acquaintances, I wondered why they were so close while she was married. As I puzzled over this, Selena leaned over the glass display and asked, "Can you show me this diamond necklace and that one too? Do you offer an employee discount?" Her carefree manner was unsettling. I was embarrassed by her brazen behavior and explained that I couldn't offer any discounts, though I felt uncomfortable about the possibility of the man buying the jewelry for her. Selena became a bit huffy but eventually chose a couple of diamond necklaces and left the store. As expected, the man paid the bill. I wondered about the nature of Selena's relationship with that man. Hesitant but feeling it was important, I decided to tell my brother what I had seen. When I called him that night, he sounded more irritable than usual. "Tyler, what's wrong? You seem off," I said, concerned that something might have happened with Selena, though I didn't mention her. He replied, "No, I'm fine, Mary. I heard you're getting married soon. Are you saving up a wedding fund?" "I am," I said. "We're planning our wedding for next year. I was hoping you and Selena could join us." His response was non-committal, which made me wonder what was troubling him. "Mary, I have something to give you next time. Meet me at our parents' house," he said abruptly, ending the call before I could respond. Maybe he was just having a rough day. My brother, as a busy surgeon, tends to prioritize others' health over his own, often neglecting his well-being. He laughs it off as an occupational hazard, but his constant busyness always worries me. I couldn't shake the worry about whether my brother was still working through surgeries every day. It seemed unlikely that Selena, who should be concerned for him, would offer much support. Tyler later sent me an email with the details for the gathering at our parents' house, which my parents also received. When I arrived at my parents' house that day, I noticed that Tyler had already come. Even though it had only been a few days since I last saw him, his complexion was noticeably worse. I said, "Hey, what's wrong? You look exhausted. Haven't you been sleeping?" My parents and I were concerned, but he only mentioned being busy with work. In front of my parents, I decided to confront him directly about my concerns. "The other day, Selena came into my store with a young man. Was that cheating?" "Tyler, are you being cheated on again?" "I've noticed her pattern of cheating for some time, but I've been too preoccupied with my work to address it." My brother confirmed my suspicion, which only fueled my parents' anger. "Now that you mention it, Selena wasn't here for today's gathering. Her absence is exactly why I felt compelled to bring this up," I added. When I asked Tyler about Selena's whereabouts, he said, "Selena isn't here today. That's why I asked everyone to come. I have a favor to ask." With a serious expression, my brother began to share some surprising news. After hearing him out, we exchanged glances and asked repeatedly, "Tyler, is this true? Are you sure about this?" No matter how many times we asked, his response remained the same. 3 months later, my brother passed away. He had developed stomach cancer due to stress and overwork. It made sense. Despite working tirelessly every day as a surgeon and being on call, his wife was not only neglecting housework but also not showing any concern for his well-being. Tyler had been aware of his worsening condition. He had undergone rigorous tests due to his discomfort and discovered the cancer. He tried to treat it, but I wish he had confided in us sooner. "Why did you always keep things to yourself, Tyler?" At the funeral, I was overwhelmed with a sense of helplessness. Memories of my brother, who had always been there for me as a child, replayed in my mind. He was there when I fell and when I struggled with club activities. He left us far too young, not even 40. My grief was profound and I struggled to manage my emotions. But one person stood out as completely out of place: Selena. Despite her husband's passing, she wore a flashy diamond necklace she had bought from my store on the day of the funeral. The necklace was extravagant and entirely inappropriate for such an occasion, especially since it had been purchased by another man. It was utterly disgusting and unforgivable. I turned my grief into anger and confronted Selena. "What are you doing wearing that necklace? Don't you know how much my brother cared about you?" Selena, who seemed unusually cheerful despite the circumstances, replied with a big smile. "What are you talking about? Of course, I know he was serious, but it's normal for people to treat me differently. If you don't like it, don't marry me. Don't say that in front of my brother." My parents and I struggled to keep our voices down, feeling the surge of anger and despair. I couldn't help but wish that she would face consequences for her behavior. Selena continued her selfish rant. He was so busy and hardly ever home, and that's the end of us as a couple. But the good thing about being married is that I get an inheritance to enjoy for the rest of my life. I was about to slap her in response to her callous words, but a nearby man stopped my hand. He introduced himself. I'm a nurse who worked with Tyler. He asked me to protect you. I was taken aback as this explanation didn't make much sense to me. Then I noticed that laughter was echoing around the funeral. Confused, I turned to see some familiar faces among the attendees. They were nurses and doctors who had worked with my brother. When I asked the nurse who stopped me why they were laughing, he said, "The doctor didn't leave any inheritance, did he? Your family would know." I was shocked. My brother hadn't left a penny of his assets, which Selena didn't know. Her reaction was one of complete disbelief. What? What do you mean? Stop lying. You're just trying to cheat me and split the money among yourselves, right? Tyler was a surgeon in Tokyo. There must be a lot saved up. The nurse's laughter turned into uncontrollable hysterics at Selena's words. My father stepped in front of Selena and asked, "You really don't know?" "What? What are you talking about? Explain it to me," Selena demanded. I took a deep breath and explained that my brother had given away his money during his lifetime, including a substantial wedding fund of 10 million yen for me and other distributions to friends and family. Tyler had exhausted his resources on extravagant entertainment, unable to manage the stresses from work and family. As I continued explaining, I watched Selena's complexion shift from blue to white. My brother, despite being the high-spec, seemingly perfect person, had spent extravagantly to relieve his stress. He wasn't the type to visit disreputable places. Instead, he hosted lavish parties, renting out cruise ships and staying in 5-star suites. It was clear now that he had wanted to share these experiences with Selena, but she was absent during his difficult times. The support he received came from his colleagues and friends. The nurses who had been laughing earlier spoke up. Despite his busy schedule, he always took care of us and threw parties that other doctors wouldn't. Those parties made us feel like celebrities and motivated us to work harder, even through tough times. Moreover, my brother had donated the remainder of his estate to the hospital. The hospital's top executives were present to pay their respects, and his substantial donation would greatly support future medical research and care. Selena's reaction was one of utter disbelief. She yelled at my brother's colleagues, "We don't have children, so I'm supposed to get everything right. How dare you take it from me without permission? You're thieves. I'll make sure you all pay for this." After her outburst, she stormed out. 4 months later, Selena called me. "Wait, what do you mean?" she demanded as soon as I answered. She was in the midst of organizing her assets, including the mansion she now lived in and Tyler's bank accounts, only to discover that Tyler had substantial debts. While 20 million yen might seem like a small sum considering his earnings, it was a significant amount to be fully withdrawn. Selena, having prioritized the mansion, apparently overlooked the debts during the inheritance process. "Hey, we're family, right? You'll help me, won't you?" she pleaded. My response was blunt. "Tyler is dead, so we are no longer family. If you had been supportive of him, I might have helped you. But given your selfishness, I can't offer any assistance now." Selena, her voice fraying with desperation, said, "So, I inherited both the mansion and the debt. If I renounce the inheritance, I have no place to live." I answered coldly, "Inheritance includes debts. Besides, I heard you can renounce the inheritance within 3 months of being informed about it. Why don't you sell some of those new designer items you've accumulated?" Selena's response was a mix of tears and repeated apologies, but I ended the call without offering further assistance. After my brother passed away, we postponed the wedding by a year. My fiancé and my in-laws understood my grief and agreed to delay it further if needed. I felt as though my brother would disapprove if I allowed myself to remain too sorrowful. I wish he could have been there on my wedding day, but I promised myself to live in a way that honors those who have supported me, just as he did. As I prepared for the wedding, I was struck by how many people continued to pay their respects to my brother. His colleagues and friends frequently visited his grave and offered incense, a testament to how deeply he was loved. It was reassuring to see that his generosity had made a lasting impact, though I had initially worried that his spending might have led to people coming only for the money. His kindness was evidently genuine, as his dedication to supporting those around him was clear even after his passing. On another note, I've heard troubling news about Selena. The jewelry store where I work and network within the industry often exchanges information, and recently, Selena's financial downfall has been a hot topic. She's been returning jewelry to various stores, not just mine, Even more concerning, she's been seen with multiple men at different locations, suggesting that she might be involved with as many as 20 people. The rumors are circulating quickly among those who love gossip. Some of these men are married, which raises questions about how many alimony payments she might face. Selena has been forced to sell her mansion and now lives above a restaurant while juggling 3 part-time jobs. Despite these efforts, her debts continue to grow due to her excessive spending habits. Unlike my brother, who used his wealth to support others, Selena squandered hers on herself. In a way, their spending habits were a strange match. While I've witnessed how wrong it is to marry for money, I remain committed to honoring my brother's memory by living a life of integrity and gratitude, just as he did for me.